I'm
All
ready.
right, we're back with Upstate Vuew, episode 6. I'm here today with Josh Graziadei, shot by Graz, filmmaker extraordinaire. What's up, Josh?
How we doing? I'm doing good. Living.
What have you been up to? What's the latest with shot by Graz, and what's the latest work you've gotten into?
Latest has just been working, making videos, like same stuff. Just doing music videos, traveling a lot, working with new clients, meeting new people, just trying to build, honestly.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started with film. When did you first pick up a camera?
I first picked up a camera last year. Last April, I picked up a camera. It was just like something I never expected I would start doing, and I kind of just picked it up. And then the people that I was surrounded by at that time were like also doing it. Like Jason, he was a videographer. Well, he still is, but he was doing that. And honestly, he helped me a lot, like just to get like in the door with it and like learn how to do it. And then ever since then, I kind of just took it and ran with it.
What inspired you early on? Was it just kind of seeing people around you doing it and you kind of wanted to dive in? Or did you have other inspirations like on social media or artists you saw?
Well, I was always big in like wanting to like just do something creative, honestly. I didn't know what it would be, and honestly when I had the camera, like it was like instant, like I fell in love with it. I just like loved everything about it. Even though I wasn't the greatest at it, like in the beginning, like seeing like other videographers, like one I really look up to is Cole Bennett. Like his mindset, like everything like that he creates is just insane. And then the Real Goats, which is the Babies, their media team, they're incredible too. So those are people that I really look up to. But with that, I lost my train of thought.
You're good.
with that, no, like those are people I really look up to.
So you've only been doing this
Yeah.
just over a year.
Yeah,
It seems like
yeah.
you've made a lot of moves in that year. You
Yeah,
really
yeah.
started to meet and work with a bunch of different artists.
Mm.
Who were some of the first artists you worked with when you first started shooting?
My first ever like big artist I worked with was a concert. It was my first ever show. It was in Buffalo. I worked with Shoreline Mafia. They're like they're known, but it's more their West Coast. But that was the first like show I ever done. The first like big artist I ever worked for. It was probably the most nervous. That was the most nervous point in this whole entire career I've had so far. Just because like I was just starting with the camera, so I didn't feel too comfortable doing like a bigger shoot yet. But I got offered it, so I was just like, screw it, like just got to do it. And honestly, it was like ever since after that was like it just took off.
So people talk a lot about the idea of kind of diving into something before
Yeah.
you're really ready, and
Yeah.
the only way to really grow and figure something out is just to do it.
Yeah.
You agree with that sentiment? Is that something that's really helped you kind of just going for things and seeing what happens with it?
Yeah, definitely. Like I say all the time, like one thing you can never be afraid of is failure. Because like if you're just always thinking about you're gonna fail, you're never gonna do it. Like you're just gonna be like, oh, should I go do this? Should I go do that? No, I just tell everybody like you just gotta dive in and do it. No matter like if you want to be truly dedicated to something, just do it. And don't look back. Don't be afraid of friends you're gonna lose or if it's gonna affect relationships with people, because it's your life. Like you choose what you want to do in life, and it's your people that you're surrounded by if they're willing to support you and ride with you throughout that journey, honestly.
So talking about relationships and losing or gaining friends, have you had a lot of support from the people around you?
Yeah, I've definitely like off from the jump. I've always had like a bunch of people were always supporting me. Still to this day, like the amount of support and love I get is just incredible, and I couldn't thank everybody like enough for everything they do. But I have lost a lot of people throughout doing this. Like it sucks, like it's terrible, but that's life. Like you can't control it. If they choose to distance themselves from you because you're following a dream, that's their choice. You can't control what people think and what people want to do. So that's what comes with it. It sucks, but that's what happens.
Now, is that more just like you don't have the time that you used to spend to spend with
Yeah,
them?
I would definitely say that. It would definitely be like, okay, my friends are all going to hang out one day, and am I going to choose to go hang out with them, or do I want to go edit this video and get ahead of my work? Like, those are the things that I would have to choose between. And I would choose editing a video because, one, I want to get better. Two, it's something that I love to do and it's my passion. So when I was constantly doing that, people were like, oh, you don't want to hang out, you don't want to do this and that. And I'm like, no, that's not it at all. Like, I'll always be here. If I'm not there in person, like, I'm always going to be there. You text me, you call me. I'm still going to be the same person I was before I started doing this, like, friendship-wise. Like, that'll never change, but people don't realize that. People just think it's the negative side of it, like that I don't want to be there, or I don't want to do this. And then they choose that route, and then they choose not to talk to me anymore, which is their choice, so I can't control that.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to see that broader picture. People can't really put themselves in your shoes and understand the grind and commitment that comes with actually pursuing something you care about.
Definitely.
Starting from the bottom. You basically jumped into this with zero editing experience just over a year ago.
Yeah, I jumped right into it.
What's been your process to, like, learn new things? And I'm assuming you edit in Premiere.
Yeah.
Do you make, like, YouTube video person, or you read things online, or just
so,
kind of trial and error?
Honestly, it was more of, when I started, Jason was there, like, right beside me. Like, as I was editing, he would be watching me and just tell me what I'm doing wrong or tell me what I'm doing right. And then it came to a point where Jason could only help me for so much, and that's a good friend because he can't sit there and hold my hand throughout all of this. So at that point, when he's like, all right, it's time to just go do it on your own, I was like, okay, now I got to figure this out. How am I going to figure out how to do it? So from the skills that I already learned from him, I would either build off of them, and if there's something that I did not know how to do, honestly, YouTube was my best friend. Just look up, how do I do it? And then I learned so much more. There's still tons of stuff that I don't know how to do, but it's all a process, honestly.
There's some really crazy effects people are putting out into videos today, and the software is just becoming more and more advanced. How much of what you do would you say is about the editing versus, I guess, just an eye for a shot, or like natural talent in, like, creating videos?
What do you mean by
like
that?
How much of it is the hard editing skills, like, oh, this person knows how to do this in Adobe, versus, like, just being able to visualize a scene?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think, like, with editing, like, the hardest, like, the people that you see all these crazy effects are, like, geniuses at After Effects. And a majority of people that I know personally, you see a lot of people now that strictly just edit videos. Like, you have people that will shoot and edit, but there's a ton of people that I know that strictly edit videos. Like, they'll get videos sent to them, and their editing is just insane. But, like, it's hard, like, being able to, like, be good at shooting and be good at editing. Like, you don't want to be, like, better than, like, one side, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's all about
it's kind of it's a balance of both, obviously.
It's a balance of both.
The best are able to kind of do both.
I focus, personally, for me, I focus more on the shot. I like the shot because that's what you're mainly seeing. Like, if the shot, the background, the way I have the artist set up in the video, the way we're directing it, the way each shot is going to be, I think that's what, like, brings the song to life, and, like, it makes people visualize it better by just seeing it how we shoot it.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed about you, over the last year, getting to know you better, is just your ability to kind of get in with any different crowd and basically be, like, one of the crew when it comes to filming and editing music videos.
Yeah.
Do you think your personality has played a big part in the success you've had?
Yeah, no, definitely. I always, like, from just being with my friend group, like, they're the type of people to be like, okay, we could do business, but if you're a genuine person, like, and I respect you, like, we could be friends. Like, it doesn't just have to be like, oh, let me go shoot a video. Like, no, we could chill. And I just think my personality, just being so outgoing, and I never have hate for anybody. I never have anything against anybody. And if we vibe good and we have a good connection when we're working together, I feel like every client that I have, it's always brought into a friendship to where, like, if I see you out, like, I'm going to talk to you. We're going to be like, how are you? How you been? Like, rather than, oh, you want to shoot next week, or, like, just stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely feel like my personality is what has got me so many connections and, like, being able to be where I'm at.
Yeah, and in the heavy Instagram world, it seems like you're the type of video guy that could really just be out there, like, one of whoever you're shooting with. I see a lot of videographers that are kind of just there, and they don't really connect on a personal level with the people that they're shooting for. So it seems that your personality and just, like, your way with people is a big advantage to you.
No, yeah, and it honestly, it makes, like, a newer artist that like will hit me up and be like, hey, I never shot a music video, but I want to shoot one. It's like, okay. And if I bring my personality when we're shooting, it makes them feel more comfortable. And if they're already comfortable, it just makes things more fun because like that it is hard working and you want to like do a good job and make sure everything's perfect, but you want to have a good time too. Like you don't want to always just be like strictly, oh yeah, you go do this, you go do that. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you just want everything to be good.
For sure. You've had the opportunity to travel a bunch for your work and work with a ton of different artists across the country.
Yeah.
Let's recap some of your bigger trips that you've taken. I know you were in Florida a few times this year. You were out in San Francisco.
Yeah.
What have those experiences been like?
They were awesome, like amazing. Like my first trip was to Orlando. It was with my friend Nishan, which he takes photography. He's a photo guy from PA, and we went to Orlando to shoot Danny Towers' headlining show in Orlando. Danny Towers is an artist. He's mainly around like DJ Scheme, Ski Master Slump God, a bunch of those guys. And we went down there and it was a great experience. I was only there for the weekend, but like just knowing now, okay, this is my first trip ever and I'm traveling to do something I love, like it's just a great feeling. And it was definitely dope and like the first experience couldn't go any better. And then we went, July, I went to Miami with a bunch of people, like Nishan was there, Zach, Will Diaz, he's an artist from Queens coming up. Will makes great music. He's just a great all-around artist that has a lot of potential. But we took a trip to Miami. We shot Will's music video out there, New Level, that has been out for a while. We're almost at we just passed 50K views, so it's at like 53 or 52, which is dope. But just being there that was a great experience. Like, cause I also like when I was down there, I didn't just shoot that video. Like, I worked with an artist, Mr. Swipey. He is around like French Montana and down in Miami. He was from New York, always around Fabio Foreign. I worked with him while I was down there. Another artist that was from the city that was down there, I did a video for him. And it's just great, like, always meeting new people and just getting connected. Like, that's my favorite part about it is just networking. It's just something that I feel like could never die out because opportunities are really endless because there's just so many people in this world and everybody always does something different. So it's like if you get connected with someone, it's great, especially if they're good people.
Yeah, for sure. So the most recent trip though was San Francisco.
Yeah,
right?
we went to San Francisco.
I saw some awesome visuals you put out with the Golden Gate Bridge, and that was one of your most impressive videos to date. I think. Talk to me a little bit about that trip. And
so we went to San Francisco. It was just me, Quez. Quez isn't from Utica. He's from Kingston, but they live here. Me, Quez, Nazi's another artist from Utica, and our boy Keith. We went out there for a couple days and strictly it was just there to work because we just needed, and they also as artists wanted to get out somewhere different to where they could not make music, but use their music and we could turn it into a video, but in a different scenery that someone really has never done before around here. Like people will take trips, whatever, but I feel like we went to like a really like well-known popular state and we really took advantage of it with just like all the scenery and just made sure it was just a great time. Like California's different. Like you said, like you told me how you went to Cali, like getting on the plane, getting off the plane, like in Cali is like different air. The whole vibe is just completely different. But that was definitely a great experience.
You guys were there before all the wildfires and everything
started? Oh yeah, we were there before all that. So that was good. But seeing that now, that's crazy, all that stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Who have been some of the bigger artists you've worked with? I know TJ Porter, you did the documentary for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else in that league?
Yeah, I've worked with a handful of bigger artists, like Danny Towers, Casanova, Polo G, Lukel, like Lil TJ, Jay Critch a few times, Stunner for Vegas. I've worked with a lot of people so far. Honestly, I have a show this Friday in Long Island. Fabio Foreign, Chef G, Sleepy Hollow, a bunch of New York City artists will be there. Porter will be there also.
So when you show up to a show like that, are you one of a few videographers that's kind of just taking different shots and scenes?
So it's really like, it honestly depends on the venue where we at. Like they will either tell us where we have to be stationed, or they could be like, it's a free-for-all, do whatever you want to do. You can go on the stage, do this, do that. I haven't had a problem yet, like, at venues. I basically can go wherever I need to go. But, yeah, that's really it. There will be, like, a few different videographers there. But my goal, honestly, is just to be hooked up with an artist to where it's like, okay, you just come to the show with me, and then we'll get all the behind the scenes of getting there, stuff like that. But I'm almost there. I'm working on it. I'm almost there.
Yeah, so I'm assuming like the top tier hip hop artists have designated video.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they
follow
all
them around at all times,
yeah.
taking photo, video.
Yeah.
Is that something you'd want to do in the future?
Definitely, no doubt about it. I would love to do that.
So you also had an opportunity to work with a brand out of Atlanta, right? When
Yeah.
Smoke Clears.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
a little bit about that.
Yeah, I did. I was working with them for a little bit. I still currently am. It's just all by ear now. I'm just waiting for things to pick back up. But I got hooked up with them. It's unfortunate. I got offered a contract to go move down there. It was supposed to happen in July. I'd been there till August, just for a month, for a little bit. But things happen. Can't always make things happen, which is perfectly fine. More opportunities will come. But gladly enough, they were giving me the opportunity to work from home. So I'm doing that for them, just like music video stuff, promos, stuff like that. Just simple stuff.
What would you say has been the most rewarding part of doing video and working with artists?
The most rewarding, I would honestly say, like, it's just meeting new people. I honestly, that's like my top, like, networking is my top go-to thing. Like, and then when I'm with the artist, like, just the vibe and the connection and like everything going on, like, that's what I love about it. That the whole experience when shooting a video is like my favorite part about anything. I could care less about the money. I could care less about if people know me. Like, that stuff doesn't really matter to me. But like, just being surrounded by good people and making like creations of videos is just the good thing about it that I love the most.
What does the next year for you look like? Any future plans? You talked a little bit about the Long Island shoot, but
Yeah.
I know it's kind of hard with COVID and everything going on right now.
Yeah.
But where do you want to go in the next year?
Sheesh. Definitely got to hit Cali again. We got to go back to Cali, LA this time. I got to get down to Atlanta. Probably a few more trips to Miami, and then the regular New York City trip every other weekend, honestly. I want to go to Canada. I definitely want to go to Toronto. I know some people out there, so I definitely want to go to Toronto. But I don't know. We'll see. I really have no plan of where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be. I'm still going to be doing this, but I don't know to what extent. It kind of just happens as I go along and keep working. But
You've been heavily focused on the music and hip-hop scene. Are there any other, verticals or other parts of video you'd like to get into, whether it be like more entertainment stuff, commercials?
yeah. I've been trying to be more versatile to where, like, it's not just strictly music videos. Like, working with Vuew Media, we've done stuff for, like, businesses, and we've done, like, little promotional videos or commercials for them, for different businesses, which I enjoy. I like it a lot because, one, it's a lot easier for me because it's not like I have to do anything crazy as in a music video where I can't miss anything. Like, we're just shooting, and it's just more simpler stuff, but I love it. And like, I definitely, like, weddings is something I really want to start doing, which I will be doing within the next year. I don't know. I feel like movies is something that I would possibly like to do just because, like, that's the route I take with my videos. I want everything to look more cinematic rather than, like, I'm not going against, like, any other videographers. Like, they love the animation and the effects and stuff like that. Me, personally, I like everything looking, like, very clean and simple with, like, a few effects here and there, but I like making the image stand out a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy to me how, traditionally, go back 20, 30 years, like, if you wanted to get into video, you had to really get in with a major studio. You had to be in LA. Like, today, YouTube really changed the world where you can be in Utica, New York, and making cinematic quality films with a $1,000 camera in your computer.
Yeah.
So it is interesting to me to kind of have that creative freedom for people like you these days. So it might not look like, oh, you're going to move to LA and go join, try to climb the ranks of Hollywood, but you might just start making awesome videos right from here.
No, definitely, yeah.
What's your equipment setup like? You shoot with a Sony?
I shoot with a Sony A7 II currently. I want to upgrade soon. I need to get something crazy. I have that. I have a stabilizer, which basically you just mount the camera on and it just makes everything really smooth. I use a Ronin S. Their stabilizer. I love DJI. Their equipment is incredible. I got a drone. Crashed the first one, but I got a drone. I crashed in California, unfortunately. That was the most saddest thing ever because I just got it. But I also have a drone. But that's really it. And then, like, monitors, stuff like that.
That's a pretty crazy story from what I've heard. You want
Yeah.
to get into any of that?
Oh, we can get into it. Basically, we were shooting a video for Quez's slow-mo video that is out right now. Video's doing really good, actually. So we were just like, hey, like, Quez is like, I'm about to go over to that cliff. You're going to stand on this other cliff, and we're going to fly the drone back and forth. I said, all right, bet. Like, it sounds like a great idea. Like, why not? And next thing you know, San Francisco pedestrians aren't always the greatest, so we ran into a little issue, and it caused me to get very nervous throughout the situation because I didn't know it was going to happen, and I tried landing the drone, and we hit a rock, and it went into the ocean. But things happen. There's always bumps in the road, and you just got to work back out of them to get right back to where you got to be. But
yeah, those are the stories you can't make up, and you'll be looking back on 10 years from now. That was a pivotal moment in my career.
It was upsetting in the beginning, but then, like, after we, like, joke about it, whatever. It's funny now, so.
If you had unlimited resources, funding, money wasn't an issue, what would be the equipment you'd be using? And I guess, like, how important do you think, like, next level, higher tier equipment is to the video process?
Like, I mean, next level equipment, like, one of my boys, Jedi, he is a videographer from the city. He just got, and his is next level. He's shooting in 6K. He's shooting with a Lumen, I forgot the name of the camera, but he's shooting with something. It's crazy. It's like a $4,000, $5,000 camera. And that's not even anything. Like, I know, like, there's cameras that are, like, $10,000, like the big red cinema cameras, and, like, just with that, like, if you want to shoot with that kind of footage, it's so hard to just go throw that footage on a MacBook. So you need to upgrade your computer setup. You need to upgrade, if you upgrade your camera setup, like, everything really needs to change with it. But if I had those unlimited resources or limited amounts of money, honestly, I'm buying an office space. We're going to buy a red cinema camera, top tier drone. There's just endless amounts of equipment. Like, there's car mounts where you could hook up your camera to the car and shoot from there. You got different kinds of stabilizers, the big ones with the backpack that go over your body, and it's just crazy. I'm just getting the best of the best, honestly.
So now that you have the drone, you have some ideas for some drone videos. You plan on incorporating it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I usually leave it up to the artists if they want it included. And if they do, my ideas are always on spot. Like, we'll plan stuff. I'm good at planning stuff out. But when I'm actually shooting, stuff may not work to the way I thought it would. So I think that's one, like, good thing about me is, like, I'm quick with, like, switching things up if we got to, like, shoot somewhere else or a different angle or stuff like that. I always could be on time with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we talked about it before, but you do bring that almost production director type element to your videos too. Some people would just be out there shooting. You got to come to them with a fully fledged out idea, but you're actually bringing ideas to the table.
No, definitely.
I think that makes you unique for sure. Okay, here. I usually end these interviews on a group of rapid fire questions. Some stay the same, some are a little different person to person, but let's get started. These don't have to be super thought out answers, just kind of whatever comes to your head.
All right.
Favorite rapper right now?
Oh, God. Put me on the spot. Favorite rapper right now. 3, 2, 1. I can't even think. Who have I been listening to? St. John. I love St. John. Yeah, St. John. That's my number one right now.
Best album of 2020 so far?
Oh, you about to get me in trouble. Best album of 2020. Apologies album, yeah.
Favorite people to follow on social media?
Gary V. You want me to name more?
Yeah, name a couple.
Gary V, DJ Academics. That's really it. Those are like my top two.
If you could work with any artist in the world on the spot right now, who would it be?
Mm. Any artist in the world right now on the spot, who would it be? Drake.
Smart.
Yeah.
Goals for the rest of this year?
Goals? Okay, so I set one goal and I'm going to make sure it happens. I don't know how, but I'm going to work to figure out ways to make it happen. I want to hit at least 10K followers by 2021. I want to have a video featured on World Star Hip Hop. And I just want to keep building connections and keep growing my business, getting better every day.
What advice would you give to young creatives who are just getting started that might be, a few years behind where you are right now?
Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. It's going to be a tough process. You're going to have bumps in the road, either with your business that you're starting or with life. And it sucks when you have problems with your business while you're having problems with your life, but that's just stuff you got to deal with because you signed up for this. You should have no excuses. Yes, times are going to get hard. I'm telling you right now, like, times are never easy. Like, you're going to go through stuff, either if it's with family or friends or you have a spouse, just stuff like that. Like, you always have those minor setbacks that you just got to be able to push through and just grind it out, and everything will fall into place. I tell people never to get discouraged. No matter how long you've been doing it, your opportunity will always come. You just got to continue to work. Work as hard as you possibly can, because if you're not going to do that, it's not for you. Like, I tell people all the time, like, people will reach out to me and be like, hey, I want to get into it. What should I do? And I'll tell you, but I also tell them, be fully committed, because you never know where it'll take you. I did not expect to do as much as I did in a year, to be honest. I honestly thought it would have just been a little side gig that I would have maybe fell off with and just never done it again, just did it for a short amount of time. But now it's my life. Like, it's every day, wake up, shoot a video, take photos, edit, school, that's it. So do it, because the opportunities, the amount that you could grow as a person, like, it just shows you a lot. And you're just getting ahead of other people that aren't doing anything, you know what I mean, in life.
What's one of the biggest things you've learned on the way that you wish you could go back and tell yourself when you first started? You've probably touched on a little bit of this already, but is there something that jumps out like, wow, I really wish I knew this when I first picked up a camera?
I can't even think of that. One thing I would have told myself.
Could be something editing, could be just the way.
Oh, don't overdo it. Don't overdo your work. Don't do as much work as you can that feels good for you, to where it's not too much weight on your shoulders, because you're going to have people upset, you're going to have your clients upset, and you don't want to deal with that. So just make sure the amount of workload you're taking in is something you can handle and get it done properly and time efficiently.
If you could leave people with one message or piece of advice, whether it be personally, professionally, just Josh Graz's message to the world, what would that be?
My message to the world? Wow. It just goes back to your work ethic. I would just tell people, like, listen, if people want to be so successful in life, people want to be able to make millions of dollars and drive fast cars and have a big house and wear nice clothes and just all that sorts of stuff, but they don't want to put that work and effort into getting there. And it doesn't come like that. It's not, nothing is ever handed to you. You always got to work for it. So I just tell people, love it, work as hard as you can, and great opportunities will come, and you'll be so much more happier with your life if you just know that you got yourself somewheres that on your own, like, just that feeling is just a feeling that, like, is, you can't even describe. Like, knowing that you've done so much and you've worked so hard and you know all the hours and hours and hours you put in to just perfecting your craft, whatever it is, whether it's you play basketball or you have a YouTube channel or you're a videographer or you're a DJ or you're an event planner. Like, you always want to grow, and the only way you're going to grow is if you just continue to keep working hard. And that's what I tell people, just don't stop. Like, just keep going.
That's something I think we can all get behind.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I'll give you a second to plug your social media. Where can people find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at josh.graz. That is my main Instagram that I really post everything on. I also have a video page that'll be at Shot by Graz, all one word. That's really it. Oh, my YouTube channel. I forgot the name of my YouTube channel. I think it's Josh Graz. My YouTube channel is either Josh Graz or Shot by Graz. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's it.
So Instagram primary.
Yeah, Instagram primarily. Everything's on my Instagram. Everything you need to find.
All right, man. Well, really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it.
It's a great interview, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Doo-doo. Yeah, they can't keep up to me when I'm doing my thing. They can't keep up with me when I'm in the fast lane. They can't keep up with me. They can't keep up with me. They can't keep up with me.